Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I'm Sam Littlefield, and I'm opening this so Steve Roop does not have to open it.
Yeah.
Roop, good to see you, my friend. And you know what? This is a tough act to follow. Last week's podcast, if you didn't listen to last week's podcast with Mr. Moderator over here.
I did my best.
And then Trent and Andrew Guyer, man, they were awesome. They did a heck of a job, and that was a total surprise on a bachelor party, and which I can talk about, by the way. Bachelor parties in your 30s, highly recommend. 2 rounds of golf, 2 nice dinners, fly home, easy peasy.
Yeah, you came back kind of bragging that it was the best thing you'd ever done.
One day we all took naps. Pulled a Roop.
Yeah, no, that's up my alley.
Kind of bachelor
that's
party?
up my alley.
Anyway, it was 80 degrees, and we went to Vail, Colorado. If you haven't been there, highly recommend. Been there a few times. It was 85 degrees and sunny, and it was. I woke up and went on a walk with a cup of coffee every morning. 45 degrees. Absolutely beautiful.
Are you allowed to say whose bachelor party this was?
Price Atkins' bachelor party.
Does Price listen?
Price does not listen, but since he doesn't listen, it is his second bachelor party. Price is getting remarried to a freaking fabulous, wonderful, lovely lady.
Can I just say something about that?
Oh, please.
Rookie.
I can't wait to send this to Price. Yes, it was wonderful. I told him though he doesn't get a third bachelor party, and thankfully this is she's the one.
Yeah, that's yeah, and you want to end it on something where the thing about bachelor parties in your 30s, you're out doing golf, playing basketball. Bachelor parties in your 40s, you start playing basketball and you end up, at the ER.
Rolling an ankle.
Yeah, it's not great.
That's not good at all. So it was a great bachelor party. Back to Andrew and Trent. It was you guys did a really nice job. Trent was very prepared too. I know you just rolled with it. Came in here. Thank you, by the way, for hosting them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was not only picking the mind of a Gen Zer, but it's understanding their platform habits, marketing, just how brands speak to them, the importance of brands and branding going forward. Andrew did a nice job, and then they got out of here. It was a quick day trip.
Yeah, Andrew's a natural. I really do think those two could have.
He's 18 years old.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Carries himself like he's 25. It's insane.
Very thoughtful answers. And I think because of that podcast and the one before, I've somehow been tapped as a Gen Z.
He's a Gen Z expert
now.
He's actually Roop is going live with a radio station in Boston at 7:30 Central tonight to talk about Gen Z. Yeah, it's perfect though. You employ Claude and Philip, both Gen Zers.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Zach out
great.
there. We gave the whole list.
Well, here's the deal. We got a great topic we'll dive into here in a little bit. Grasshopper, Ditch Witch, and H.E. Williams were all in-house at the agency in Tulsa, Oklahoma last week. It was a big week.
Yeah.
One of my favorite summer weeks that I've had in years. Usually summers kind of mellow out for us. It was just really thoughtful, good discussion. Here's the crazy thing. It is July 22nd. Claude, it's not July 18th. July 22nd.
I thought it was the 18th.
And we are right on the edge of media planning and marketing planning season.
Yeah, and
I just can't believe it.
And then what happens after August, Sam?
The holidays. Ruth's giving me shit over here, and it's like, no, the holiday. And Claude agrees with me. It's like, hey, back to school, and then you blink, and it's Halloween. You blink, it's Christmas.
You skip Thanksgiving altogether.
I love Thanksgiving, but it goes by very fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got a lot of good things going on. It's just going fast. We're going to cue the Jason Aldean music, and I'm going to get into
I don't know who that is.
We're not cueing it right now. I'm hoping in post they can do this. Jason Aldean is a wonderful country artist who actually happened to be in Tulsa last Thursday, and we're going to go to our first topic.
Okay.
Midwest marketing, is there a flyover bias in our industry? The reason, Roop, I'm cueing Jason Aldean, a great song, Flyover States, my friend.
Never heard it.
I know you haven't, but you're going to hear it when you listen to this.
I only listen to coastal music.
Coastal.
Touche. That's pretty good. So Roop put this topic together. I think it's great. Are we talking digital trends today? Not technically.
No.
But for our current clients that listen to this and to our prospective clients that are listening, it's important for you to get to know who we are as you've gotten to know us over the years or months or weeks and podcasts. But also what we value, what we look for in a client, and where we do our best work.
Yeah.
We have kind of coined the term, we are the Heartland Agency.
Yeah.
We work really, really well with clients within the Midwest. And let's get into that, Roop.
And the Heartland tends to be that, I don't know who coined the phrase, but that concept of the flyover area of the country. Everyone's, heading to the east or the west coast, maybe the deep South. I don't know, but definitely we're considered flyover country. And so, as such, I think sometimes we're not considered as.
Hey, we're not a Chicago agency.
Right.
We're not a New York agency.
Dallas,
San Francisco.
even. Yeah,
no, for sure. I get that.
But you know what? We put our pants on one leg at a time, just like they do.
Wow. What a statement, man.
I'm just telling you. So it's always kind of bothered.
They're no different than us.
No, and it's always
but
kind
they
of.
are.
Well, they might be bigger, but does that mean they're better?
Bigger, like population.
Yeah, and you know there might be 200 people at their agency, but does that mean all 200 of them are touching your business? No. So it's always kind of bothered me a little bit when we feel like we're going up in an RFP or in a pitch or something, and we're from Tulsa and we're going up against these larger city agencies. And I've always kind of had that chip on my shoulder anyhow about it. But
my father really did.
Yeah, David definitely did.
It really pissed him off.
But I think we've punched through a few times and gotten past that. But the idea that somehow we are not as good a marketer or don't understand a client's business just because we're in the Midwest is kind of weird to me.
Well, and here's what's interesting. So let's rewind 6 years ago, pre-pandemic. Very much a stigma, right?
Yeah.
From even Dallas, right? It just wasn't really kind of on the map, but not really on the map. And it was really interesting. Right after COVID, I had a walking cup of coffee with a guy. I won't name his name, and he was actually born in, holy smokes, Tel Aviv.
Okay.
And he moved to New York. His wife that he's married to is from Buenos Aires. So very, very globally cultured man, right? And I said, how in the world did you find yourself from Manhattan to Tulsa? Mm-hmm. And he goes, I believe we're on the brink of a massive shift that the coasts have worn a lot. There's some people, by the way, we're not in any way downgrading West Coast and East Coast. I
love them.
We're not saying that.
Love to visit.
You love the Pacific Northwest.
And big New York guy.
I'm a huge East Coast guy, especially down Florida up to the Carolinas. But his thing was, he goes, you know what? It is really expensive to live there. That's been the place to be for, well over a century. And he goes, I think there's going to be this mass migration to the Midwest. And he found out about Tulsa. He moved his family to Tulsa. His brothers, his sisters, his parents moved to Tulsa. And he is a huge advocate of the city. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting perspective. It kind of took it with a grain of salt. And then, boom, you just see this. And I'm not just saying Tulsa, but Tulsa, Dallas, Chicago, Kansas City, even more of the suburbia area. People have realized you can have a great life here, great cost of living. And the beautiful thing for our agency and for our clients, we have some really freaking smart people here at the agency that are, we've had 2 employees from Dallas in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So we're talking about ourselves. We want to talk about the values that it's interesting, right? We have clients anywhere from brand new clients up to 23 years that we've been with these clients. And, I think the biggest thing for me when I took over during the pandemic and bought the agency in 2021 is, no knock on our former leadership, but David would take anyone that gave him money, he'd take it. It was good money. I do believe in bad revenue. Mm-hmm. And I think you and I and the agency, when we were, really nice and lean and during the pandemic, we took the time to look ourselves in the mirror. And who do we do our best work for? And it's clients that value us as an agency, that value us as people. Of course, we have to bring a certain talent and results to our clients. That's why they hire us again and again, year over year. But there's something, and I'm not just talking like straight in the heartland here. We have a new client out of Ohio and Pennsylvania. They are amazing. They're smart. They're sophisticated. And what I love about them, we see them about once a quarter in person because they value that relationship.
Yeah, and it's not the location that matters here, but I think the stereotype of Midwest values is kind of true, and I think we tend to align ourselves with clients that also share those values wherever they are. We're very loyal. We have a lot of authenticity. We're who we say. We tell you what we're going to do and say what we're going to do and do what we're going to say.
Yeah, no, totally. The phrase? We follow through.
We follow through, right? Yeah. And what you see is really what you get with us. Like we're very relationship based. we like our clients.
I totally we don't have one client that we don't like right now. I enjoy talking to them on the phone, Zooming, seeing them in person. I would say that across the board.
We're very friendly.
That was not the case 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had some tough clients. We had some clients that in no way valued us, in no way respected us.
Yeah.
And I've got zero tolerance for that.
Well, but I've told some of the younger staff before, you kind of have it. It's kind of different here. The concept of an agency when I was a kid for sure was, you were fighting with clients and everybody was stressed out and angry and all that. Gosh. And that's just not our vibe.
No,
it's not how we work. It's not how our clients work. And it's incredible.
I had an amazing former boss in San Diego, and I looked what I love about this, I worked for a global agency on the West Coast. And by the way, I had a hell of a time. 2-year stint.
San Diego, right?
Yep, downtown San Diego, overlooking Petco Park and the ocean. You could see Coronado Island. And I was stressed. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week, but I was young, I was hungry, I was single. I loved it. I loved the business. And I took it very, very seriously. And we lost out on an RFP that I'd worked really hard on. And my boss, Peggy, took me out and she goes, "Hey, no one's dying and we're not curing cancer." And she goes, "I appreciate how serious you take this business." But she's like, "You got to lighten up, kid." and Roop knows this. Our whole team knows this. Claude knows this. We talked about this before. That mantra is very, very much ingrained into our culture. Yeah. Of course, we have to do work and we have to work hard and we got to do great things for our clients. But sometimes we don't need to take ourselves so seriously. And I think our clients are aligned with that. And we still get them great results, but we still have a hell of a time while doing it. I love coming to work every day. People love coming to work here.
Yeah,
we have 2 clients in house right now that came over for the day to be at our agency to get a change of pace.
Yep, we're not even meeting with them, are we?
No,
they're just hanging out today.
No, they're taking calls and they're having meetings, and that's the extent of it. Yeah, absolutely. So you look at, and I think a big thing is too, the face-to-face is very, very important to us. Like I said, that new client out of Ohio and Pennsylvania, we see them once a quarter. But at the same time, we're conducting business over Zoom on a daily basis. That is it's a little more transactional, but it's what you have to do to keep pushing the work along. But you can still cultivate great relationships over that, and you can still have thought-provoking, wonderful conversations with the client in that same realm virtually.
Yeah, which and all this I guess I want to say attitude towards clients and clients with us is also how we work together here. I think our internal culture also kind of reflects those same values.
And here's, I think, the biggest epiphany for me. So when I first started at the agency, it was 9 years ago. Next month.
It's weird when, okay, can I tell you something? Please. It's weird for me when you say when I started at the agency and like you're the boss now. I know, it's weird.
I had to work my way up, right?
Yeah.
Had to put in some good hours. But when I started here, I had this aspiration to grow this place to 100, because I come from a global agency. I was like, Dad, I want to have 100 employees and 100 clients.
Because that's a badge of success somehow.
Yeah, totally, right? And man, as I've gotten older and maybe quote unquote a little bit wiser. I don't know if my wife would agree with that, but we're 23 employees with 15 to 20 wonderful clients, and I really like that. Mm-hmm. You grow or you die. You got to keep growing. We want to add the right clients onto the staff. We want to keep maintaining our wonderful and pushing them to the edge, our wonderful current clients. But my perspective on this has completely shifted. And here's the beautiful thing too: technology, AI, et cetera, has allowed our employees to become so much more efficient. Our employees now can do a heck of a lot more work, and we don't have to hire as many people, and we can still compete with the big boys. Now I'm not talking competing against a J. Walter Thompson or a WPP or a Wonderman or whoever. We're not pitching against them. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of man and female power here at the agency that we didn't have 10 years ago. Yeah, we'd have to have 7 to 10 more employees, and now we don't. And we still have a good balance, and we still have great client relationships. The most important thing to us is that client relationship. So all that said, do you think there is a flyover bias in the industry, in the marketing industry, both for agencies and for internal marketing departments when we're looking out? Because I don't want to name names, but I know for a fact there's a lot of Tulsa organizations that will purposefully
hire an agency in one of those larger markets because they feel like they're getting more, right? Those guys got to know something because they're big.
There are two great companies here in town that work with a Kansas City and Dallas agency.
So that bias really kind of goes two ways, right? We against ourselves even in some cases. So do you think there's a bias?
I think the bias is shifting. I still think there is a bias. And that's okay. I think it's shifting in the right direction. I'll be really interested to see where this business is in the next 3 to 5 years in the sense of that bias. But 6 years ago, oh my gosh, yeah, hey, what Tulsa ho-hum agency? I'd rather go to X bigger market. Now it's definitely shifting. But at the same time, let me give you an example. I had a really awesome prospect last year. We are not working with them. Big company down in South Florida. And got on with the CMO after a couple meetings with the marketing and analytics manager. And he was like, "Hey, you guys are great. You don't know our customers. They're Hispanic in nature. There's a lot of them, move between Miami and Cuba. They're down in that southern Florida region, and it's like, and he told me, he was like, you guys are a pretty white Midwestern agency." And I gave him a response. I won't share that with you all today, but I was like, "Hey, no, that's actually quite the opposite."
Was your response in Spanish?
Should have been.
Yeah.
Should have been on that call. That would have been awesome. But again, so it tells me, yes, 100%. Why would he not work with a South Florida agency and work with an Oklahoma agency? But that's his prerogative. So it's definitely still there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it really has changed so much in a very, very good way. My dad used to hide from the fact that we were in Tulsa. Like if we were at a magnet meeting, we're this little this smaller agency in Tulsa, place called Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I take tremendous pride in Tulsa. I think it's great when I have a prospect that I'm talking to someone right now in the Midwest. Where are you again? Hey, we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, baby. It's a great spot. We have clients all over the nation. We have some Oklahoma clients. Most of our clients are outside of the state of Oklahoma, and it's wonderful because we get to get in a car, or we get to go on a plane, we get to go see those clients, vice versa. And it's a great thing.
You want to know something dumb I do?
Oh, please do.
So when we were in New York and people ask us, well, anywhere, but this happened recently in New York, and people ask us, my wife and I, where are you guys from? I'll just say Tulsa. I don't say Oklahoma.
Say Oklahoma.
Not because I hate Oklahoma or anything, but I'm like, you never have to say Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois. So I'm like, if you're going to run with the big boys,
I'm going to do that.
Let's be the big boys. So I always just say Tulsa.
I am going to do that. I love it. And here, at the end of the day, I have a friend recently. He's got a great agency. They had a huge pitch. The pitch was a smashing success. They had the opportunity afterwards to go to dinner. Pitch team takes the client to dinner. It was an awkward dinner, kind of awkward conversation, just didn't flow very well. And the next week they get the call, and they did not win the pitch. So my buddy calls the client, goes, "Oh my gosh, but the pitch went so well." And they said, "Oh yeah, no, you were the clear winner in the pitch, but the vibes at dinner." It's more important for us to have someone that we really vibe well with. Yeah. So hey, they might have been even a smarter agency than the agency that was awarded the business. And again, we have to do our job to get our clients and our prospective clients the results they're looking for. But at the end of the day, I want to work with people that I like, that I know, that I trust, and that I vibe well with. And I think that's super important.
Yeah, that is. Boy, what a story that is.
Isn't that crazy? And I think that happens more often than not. And I think people lose sight of that. So it's that the Midwestern values, man, I think carry a long way these days.
Yeah, down to earth. I just want to read a few notes off the script here.
Please.
So is there a flyover bias? Yes, but it's probably lessening now. We're starting to see some of that. There's a perception versus reality. And I think once people kind of get past the perception that an agency in Tulsa can't perform, they see the reality that we can.
And here's the thing. Our client from Pennsylvania and Ohio that came here in the spring, they came here and were blown away. We have a great space. I call it, it validates who we are.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how I see that validation. When we're at Inbound, the HubSpot conference every year, I'm there with people from all over the world.
Yeah, of course.
And very frequently I'm sitting in a seminar or something where I'm like, well, we've been doing that for a few years. Or we know about this. So that validation comes is great. So Midwestern values, one of the things also on the list here was collaboration over ego, which I think is very true here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not our way or the highway. It's very much a collaborative effort, I think, when we work on projects.
What do we say at the agency? Check your frickin' ego
at the door.
Man. Yeah.
Which is a Midwestern trait. It's creative excellence without the flash. So we're not
that.
we're not always the flashiest, but it doesn't mean that the creative is not excellent, because it is. Cost, value, and client loyalty. We've talked about some of that stuff, and then just grit. Grit was a word that came up a lot when I was putting this together.
Yeah,
I don't think you hear people refer to grit as much as you do in the Midwest.
No, that's good.
Just that kind of, you've been through it and you've learned from trial by fire, and you're out stronger kind of thing.
Those of you that are not watching the video, we're kind of clenching our fists, gritting our teeth. No, for sure. We're competitive people, and it makes for better work. So.
Yeah. Competitive with each other.
Well, hey, here's the thing. If you have a Midwest agency, if you have an East Coast agency, West Coast, whatever it may be, as long as you're happy, that's the most important thing. But always good. Again, that relationship component is super huge.
Yeah.
And I appreciate this topic, Roop.
Yeah.
So coming up next, we have a special guest next week. We are super excited. You're not just stuck with Roop and I. We're coming off the tail of a great one with Andrew and Trent. We got a super special guest next week, so stay tuned.
Who is it, Sam?
Should I tell?
Yeah.
Mike Simmon, baby. Mike is back.
Hey, Sam, what's the topic?
Hey, Roop, I'm going to kill you. I'm not teasing that right now.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I see.
Dude, I can't give that away, because what if they don't listen? Of course they're going to listen. It's going to be a great one. Mike, we can't wait to have you on the podcast. Can't wait to host you here at the agency. And it's going to be a wonderful week.
Yep.
Roopster, my friend, Claude, thank you as always. We will see you guys next week with Mike. Bye-bye.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.